Hi guys, it's a favorite teacher Kaumajimaza, and welcome to Learning Science the Easy Way. So for those that are watching me for the first time, on this platform, I did sciences, physics, and chemistry. So I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll be able to receive a notification whenever a new video is posted. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about chemical bonding and the formation of ions. So most of the atoms on the periodic table, or most of the elements on the periodic table, are in what we are calling as the unstable state, except the elements in group 8. The group 8 elements are already in what we are calling as the octet state. They are already stable. So these other groups, starting from group 1 to somewhere group 7, the elements in those groups are not stable. So they would rather combine with other atoms in order for them to be stable. So the combining of atoms in order for them to be stable is what we are calling as bonding. So in short, bonding is the combining of atoms to form a compound. So we are saying bonding is the combining of atoms to form a compound. So bonds are formed either by sharing of electrons or by the transfer of electrons. So the essence of atoms bonding is basically for them to be stable. They want to obtain what we are calling as an octet state. So the transfer of electrons involves two things. So there is the loss of valence electrons, There is also the gain of electrons. So you have to take note that when an atom loses the electrons or gains the electrons, it becomes charged. So when an atom loses the electrons, either by losing or gaining electrons, it becomes a charged. And this charged electron is called the ion. A charged electron is called an ion. So the ion which we have here as a charged particle, this one can either be positively charged or negatively charged. Positively charged or negatively charged. So a positively charged ion is called a cation. So this one we are calling it as a cation. This one is a positively charged ion. Then the negatively charged ion is called the anion. So basically, when a metal or an atom loses the electrons, it becomes positively charged. And that is what we are calling as a cation. And when an atom gains the electrons, it becomes negatively charged. And that is what we are calling as the anion. So, for example, if we look at sodium atom with the valence electron of 1, so sodium atom will lose 1 electron. So when it loses 1 electron, it becomes sodium ion with a positive charge there. and the electron lost. So this shows that sodium atom has lost one electron in order to become sodium ion, which is more stable as compared to sodium atom. The same applies to magnesium. If we have magnesium atom losing the electron there, it will be magnesium ion, and the electrons lost. So this one is magnesium ion. Then we have the electrons the other side and the magnesium atom. So magnesium, in its outermost shell, it has got two valence electrons. That's why it is bearing the two here. So this two simply shows that magnesium has lost two electrons in order for it to become magnesium ion. So we have magnesium metal or magnesium atom losing two electrons, the electrons which are in its outermost shell, in order to become magnesium ion. And this sign here shows the number of electrons lost with the symbol for the electrons like that. So in the case of the electron configuration, for instance, for magnesium, so for magnesium atom, we have 2, 8, 2. So the two electrons in the outermost shell will be lost. So what we are going to have as magnesium ion is 2, 8. So this is a more stable state as having a state of this nature. So that's why magnesium will lose the two valence electrons in order for it to be stable. So for the formation of the anions, the atoms are going to gain the electrons. So like in this case, we have chlorine atom, chlorine atom, chlorine atom needs one electron for it to be stable. So it will gain the electron there in order to have what we're calling as the chloride ion. So the electron configuration for chlorine atom is 2, 8, 7. Now, for the chloride ion, since it has gained one electron, the electron configuration is going to be, so it is going to be 2, 8, 8. Meaning, the chloride ion is now in what we are calling as the octet state. So it is more stable as compared to the chlorine atom. Another example, if we have oxygen atom, with the electron configuration of 2, 6. So oxygen needs 2 electrons for it to be stable. So 2 electrons. So we are going to have the oxide ion. So that oxide ion with the electron configuration of 2, 8. So when you look at the outermost shell for oxygen atom in the oxide ion, there is a difference in the number of electrons. So for the oxygen atom, there are 6 electrons in the outermost shell. For the oxide ion, there are 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So this simply shows that The oxygen atom has gained 2 electrons for it to be stable, and it has become what we are calling as the oxide ion. I hope you followed through, and thank you very much for watching.